a Hungarian term that means shepherd's soup. And it's actually a pretty thin broth that has big chunks of potato and meat and is heavily
long, real thin. You've got people out there with...
You were walking on thin ice. I don't know if it really is the church.
And I'm being stretched too thin anyway. And
myself, I wonder how much protection my little thin helmet's going to offer should the one
got really thin balances.
This sounds like something.
They'll stay alive. They'll find a way to be as relevant as possible with a very thin budget.
You're asking questions about microsomatic.
Synthesize these out of thin air. They come only from the foods that you eat. And a good example.
Activity that I consider to be sort of thin, you know, what they call clicktivism.
Using the Armenians as a thin edge of the wedge to get reforms within the...
The thin lines are weaker connections, and as you'll discover later in this talk,
a lot. I mean, I grew up always quite thin, and then just for a bunch of reasons I gained a lot of weight in my...
Those things are true, but that's too thin an interpretation here. That could be said and will be said.
Things in the world where people care about very thin things that don't leak in some...
And I finally made a decision that maybe we have to live thin. But I'm going to die chubby.
It's really thin. It's called command performance.
Notice here how relatively thin the atmosphere is relative to the diameter of the Earth. The Earth itself...
Reaching and spreading ourselves too thin.